Are you a deathcore fanatic who plays guitar but struggles to achieve a perfect, gritty, high-gain deathcore guitar tone? Well, say no more, because this plugin that I'm about to show you will change the way we produce deathcore guitar tones for good. Hey there friends, it's Jack Taylor here, and today I want to showcase to you guys the newest creation that wavemind has developed called ToneSuite Distant. As you can tell by the name of the virtual amp simulator, this was actually made for the band Distant, who are a deathcore band from Holland, making it their signature guitar tone that they intend to use for live music. I was very keen on trying out this guitar amplifier when I reached out to wavemind asking if they would be interested in having me demo the plugin, and they said yes to it, so they were happy and grateful to hand me over the not for resale license for me to try out the plugin. So wavemind, if you're watching this video, thank you so much for hooking me up with the not for resale license key and for being so grateful in having me demo the plugin. You guys are absolute legends. Now, just to clarify, this video is not sponsored, there's no affiliate whatsoever, and I'm not being paid to say anything great about it or even sugarcoat it and say that you should buy this plugin because it's great. This is actually a video where I give you my unfiltered thoughts, and as well as showcasing the plugin itself and what it kind of really has to offer for you as a deathcore guitarist. Now, with all that being said, let's get right into the video. Okay, so here I have this mix right in front of me, which is the demo that I did on my last video, and if you've not seen it, then go check it out. I will put the link in the description below for you. Obviously, what's important about this video is the whole plugin itself. Now, looking at this plugin, we have, first of all, the holy grail, which is the amplifier that I'm using called the Flesh Weaver. This is actually one of my favorite characteristics of this plugin that I'm using. You have an overkill toggle, which actually boosts mid-range to the guitar tone if you want it to sound even more gnarly as you want it to. And then you got everything else that you need here, like you got the power button, you got a standby, the master, presence, bass, mids, treble, gain, just anything that you need to make this guitar tone possible. This amp is more suited to modern deathcore music because it's such a high gain guitar amplifier. But if you're like a old school deathcore kind of guy back in the 2000s, maybe you're stuck in it, but you can have different characteristics such as the servant amplifier. This is kind of based off the PV5150. So you have that, and then you got the nail wound, which is more suited to having a clean guitar tone. So you can use this for cleans or maybe even smoother distortion, if you will. For this one, I just stick with the Flesh Weaver because I really like the sound of this. All these pedals that you're seeing here are there before it hits the amplifier over here. So you have the pre-EQ bit, which you can shape how you want the tone to sound before it hits the amplifier. So this basically controls the signal of the DI input. I didn't really use this because I'm using this pre-EQ right here and cut out any like harsh frequencies that the DI was making. Put the on button and the attack all the way to 100%, and that's pretty much it. Not much else that there is to do with it. And to kind of make it tighter, I've used C1 gates. But you can also use the gate within this plugin as well, which we'll go through in a bit. So you have the shaper here, and this one is kind of like a fuzz pedal, but this is more of an octave kind of pedal. So what it does is it boosts the signal an octave up. I didn't really bother using the sub setting, which basically boosts low end. The slaughter pedal, which is actually an overdrive pedal. Drive is all the way down, the level's still there, and I've just boosted the tone as well. So I've kind of like make it act like as it is just an overdrive pedal, but except I boosted some of the mids because it was kind of lacking a bit more. So that's there if you want to increase more high-end pick attack on it. Then you got the amplifier, which let me untoggle this GDD Studio cab. So yeah, this is the one that I use for this mix that I've toggled on. Other options that you can have is, well, this is quite interesting because I'll show you this. You have the girth and then you have the grind. Now the girth increases a bit more low end within this cab. And then you have the grind, which basically increases more crisp, so that controls the high end of it. Works like an EQ, if you ask me. Okay, and other necessities that you have is that you can blend between two IRs, which is nice to have, including the position, the distance that you can adjust, and then you got high pass filter, low pass filter if you want to cut out some of the frequencies in this cab. Mic blend, so you can blend between the two microphones, including the IRs, so that you can get the desirable sound that you want. And you have this drop down menu like you do with any other guitar VST, so you can switch between these 4x12 cabs just for like a different sound out of the cab. Next up after that, you got the post EQ. If you're not satisfied with how the guitar was sounding after this, then you can use the post EQ and just kind of fix it yourself. I did cut some 800 Hertz because it was a bit, there was a bit too much mids in there, and then cut some 3000 hertz. And there's one interesting thing about this is you have the sauce button. So what this does is you toggle it on and it basically fits it in the mix for you automatically. Kind of works like a master EQ in a way, but I don't tend to touch that. And then last but not least, you have the effects panel. Now this is obviously toggled off, but you have the delay pedal and you have the reverb pedal, an abundance of options that you can mess with to get the desirable sound that you want, especially for a lead guitar or a clean guitar. It's not everything that you have here, but this is the necessities that you need as yourself a deathcore artist. Now I want to mention other utilities that you get. You have the tuner, so you don't need to use like a tuner pedal or the tuner that's built into the DAW software or anything like that. You have the input signal, which you can boost in case if it's too quiet inside the signal. And then the outputs in case you need to make it louder out of the speakers. You have the gate in case you need to cut out any unwanted sounds after you play a guitar, and so that it makes it tighter, especially if you're palm muting. You have a drop toggle here. If you want to do a world-ending kind of breakdown, then this is there for you to go down -12 semitones, or if you want to go down a few semitones. And what's interesting, you have the comp and the smooth, and there's a difference between the two. The comp basically controls the low end of your guitar signal. So if you're palm muting, basically palm muting introduces more low end. So this is there for you to kind of tame the low end of the guitars, so it's not sucking the life out of that guitar tone. You have a smooth toggle in case if there's too much pick attack from the high end, then you can use this function to control the signal of that guitar. Now the company itself and the band Distant have been nice enough to make a bunch of presets for you to browse around and maybe inspire you to get the sort of tone that you want. I know this isn't much, but this has everything that you need and you want. Now you guys are asking, how does this amplifier sound on its own? So basically what we're going to do is we're going to turn off the master, the mix bus, the guitar bus, and everything else that's processing this guitar sound, so that you guys know that I'm not trying to deceive you, I'm not trying to sugarcoat it saying that this plugin is the best and you should buy it. I'm just basically going to give you full transparency on how this guitar amplifier actually sounds, so just don't be disappointed if you heard this. But anyway, here's how this sounds. As we hear the guitar, I'll toggle between the characteristics and everything else, so you guys can get an idea out of it. Now personally, I like this sound. So obviously what I've done is, I've changed the mics, I've adjusted the girth, the grinds, the position, so that's all good. And I've even blended between the microphones. So because I think this guitar tone sounds good to me, I'm gonna leave it there as it is. Now let's see what this sounds like with the pedals on. So basically what you will see me doing here is that I'm trying to chase a particular deathcore guitar tone to what I think would sound good. Talk about tone chasing. But unfortunately, it is going to take a bit of time and a few more listens, maybe a bit of hearing to kind of like help you get used to it. And therefore, you'll be able to achieve the best deathcore guitar sound that you can ever do. Quick conclusion to make, this virtual amp simulator is more focused on deathcore music if you're looking for a high gain, monstrous and abrasive guitar tone. And looking at the interface itself, now people are going to argue that they are trying to copy Neuro DSP, but I don't think this is the case that they're trying to copy Neuro DSP. I think the case is that the plugin is made to be more simple, easier to use, and more modernized in a way that we want to make it a bit more easier to work with the plugin and that there's not too many things going on at the same time. So I really don't blame the company for doing this, so well done to you wavemind for thinking about it. Nevertheless, this is an awesome plugin. If you guys are interested in this plugin, they do offer a 7-day free trial that you can try out before you buy, which is priced at 119 euros. You could go follow the company on Instagram, simply type up wavemind NL, meaning Netherlands, if you want to see more updates or any news that they might have coming in the future. So thank you guys for watching. I will see you in the next video. Take care and bye for now.